Shalom. I want to give all praise and all the glory unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushai Bahashim, Rekah Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. I also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright. So I'm going to, just with the spirit, I'm going to do 2 Samuel chapter 10. And it says, "And it came to pass after this that the king of the children of Ammon died, and Hanun his son reigned in his stead." Alright, and Ammonites, if you don't know, those are the so-called Japanese, okay? So that's who you could picture when we read this chapter. It's talking about Ammon, which is you're talking about a Japanese, so-called. Alright? Let's see. Alright, so verse 2. "Then said David, I will show kindness to Hanun, the son of Nahash, as his father showed kindness unto me. And David sent to comfort him by the hand of his servants for his father. And David's servants came into the land of the children of Ammon." Alright, so David was planning on showing Hanun, the new king of the so-called Japanese, the Ammonites, kindness, right? Because of the kindness that his father showed him, Hanun's father. Verse 3. "And the princes of the children of Ammon said unto Hanun their lord, Thinkest thou that David doth honor thy father, that he hath sent comforters unto thee? Hath not David rather sent his servants unto thee to search the city and to spy it out and to overthrow it?" Alright? See, so it's the same, like you have these Asians, when you go into their stores, they think you're going in their stores to steal from their store. So that's the same premonition they had when they saw the servants of David who was coming to, show kindness. But these heathen, because, Israelites were naturally compassionate, but the heathen, they're always hating on us, man. And as soon as they see us, they start having bad vibrations, you see. And really it's because Jake is fucking crazy, The 2/3 are fucking wild bulls, you see, and nets, you see. So you can't blame them at the same time, the way these heathen look at you, because look at all the 2/3 the way you fuckers act, you see. So verse 3, Salakia, verse 4. Oh yeah, and they even joke about it in that movie, Don't Drink Gin and Juice. I forgot the name. It's a parody with the Wayans brothers, Marlon Wayans and them. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So they showed you when they walked into the Asian store and the Chinese lady was telling them to hurry up and buy. See, these Asians, they're not fond of Jake, you see. They're on the list of enemies when you go to Psalm 83 also, the Ammonites, alright? The scriptures tells us those are our enemies, you see. Where am I at? Verse 4. "Wherefore Hanun took David's servants and shaved off the one half of their beards and cut off their garments in the middle, even to their buttocks, and sent them away." See? So they made a fool of the servants that King David sent, these so-called Japanese, these Ammonites. They shaved off their beards. That's a shameful thing. If you're a man in Israel, if you're an Israelite man, and you're not wearing your beard, you're not rocking your beard, which by the way should be a unshaved beard, right? Let's get that. What is that? Leviticus 19, I think. 19 and is it 12 or maybe? No, let's see. 21 maybe. Let me see. Let me find it. But it's a shameful thing if you're not wearing a beard as Israelite, yeah, that's part of your manhood. You should always have a beard. Let me get Leviticus. Okay, 19 and 27. I was just a little bit off. Here it is. Leviticus 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. All right. So really, if you have a beard and you're an Israelite man, you're supposed to trim it with scissors. Really, is the best thing you could do if you want to trim it. Otherwise, let it grow. But you can't take a razor and line it up the way Jake likes to do it. You see. So that's the law on that, right? So we'll go back to 2 Samuel 10, and I'm at verse. But you see, that's the spirit of these heathen, man. They repay you evil with good, or they repay you evil with good. I said it right the first time. You see, this is 2 Samuel 10 and verse 5. When they told it unto David, he sent to meet them, because the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, tarry at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. So you see how important that law is. You had King David. He told his servants, don't even come back till your beards grow back. You see. And as I'm speaking this, because I'm at a park. It's a beautiful day here in Denver, Colorado today. And I'm at the park doing this lesson, and here comes, the Lord always brings examples. Here comes a Jake with a lined up beard, you see. So, you see, you're supposed to keep your beard grown out, and you're not supposed to line it up with a razor, all right? So, we're going to keep reading, and it says on verse, but see, it's such a shameful thing, and these Ammonites, they did this to King David's servants, to shame them. And not only that, I didn't even bring up the part where they had cut their garments where their ass was showing out in the middle. You see? So that's just a wicked ass thing. These heathen are wicked, man. You want to sit here and be their friends and try and mingle with the heathen and stuff. You Jakes nowadays, you gotta. That's something really you should avoid doing. All right, because these spirits, they're always going to be the spirit of a heathen. You see, a heathen is always going to be a heathen. All right. So David told them just stay there till your beards grow back. You see. And I'm gonna keep reading just because I don't want to end on just the beard verses, but I got time still, so we'll just keep reading verse 6. It says, and when the children of Ammon saw that they stank before David, the children of Ammon sent and hired the Syrians of Beth Rehob and the Syrians of Zobah 20,000 footmen, and the king of Maacah 1,000 men, and of Ishtab 12,000 men. All right, so they went to go hire the Syrians. You see, we had a lot of enemies. We still have a lot of enemies. And it says that they stank. When you go into that word stank, it goes into abomination. And also stink, like odor stink. But it goes into abomination. So it's literally an abomination when your beard is shaved off. The Lord looks at you like an abomination. Okay? And people might sit here and say, oh, well, that's a least commandment. That's not a big deal, I'm gonna shave my face for my job, you see. But in reality, that's a really big deal, you see, to the point where David said, "Don't even come back." These Ammonites had our men looking like fools, right? This verse out real quick, because you might think that's just a small law, small rule, small statute, but it's I'm gonna go to Matthew 5 and 19. And whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. See? So our Lord's will, I'm in that number because I'm teaching you to, hey, grow your beard out. Don't shave it, all right? Don't shave it with a razor. Let that thing grow out if you're a man, you see? If you can't grow it, hey, you're not in sin if you can't grow a beard. If the Lord didn't give you the ability to grow a beard, that ain't your fault. The Lord's not gonna look at that as a transgression when you can't grow a beard out, So let's keep reading. Going back to 2 Samuel and verse 7. And it reads, "And when David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the host of the mighty men. And the children of Ammon came out in Salaki, I didn't pull it up. 2 Samuel 10:7. 8. And the children of Ammon came out and put the battle in array at the entering of the gate. And the Syrians of Zobah and Rehob and Ishtab and Makkah were by themselves in the field. When Joab saw that the front When Joab saw that the front of the battle was against him, before and behind, he chose all the choice men of Israel and put them in array against the Syrians. And the rest of the people he delivered into the hand of Abishai, his brother, that he might put them in array against the children of Ammon." All right, so David was getting ready to fuck the Ammonites up. He was getting his host ready, okay? So lucky, I'm going to scroll down here. Let's see, this is verse 11, all right? It reads, "And he said, If the Syrians be too strong for me, then thou shalt help me. But if the children of Ammon be too strong for thee, then I will come up and help thee." Okay? So Joab's like, if you need my back, we'll come. If we need your back, come and help us. Verse 12. "Be of good courage, and let us play the men for our people, and for the cities of our power Yahweh, and Yahweh do that which seemeth him good." All right. Verse 13. "And Joab drew nigh, and the people that were with him, unto the battle against the Syrians, and they fled before him." So the Syrians, they didn't want none. Verse 14. "And when the children of Ammon saw that the Syrians were fled, then fled they also before Abishai, and entered into the city. So Joab returned from the children of Ammon, and came to Jerusalem." Okay, verse 15. "And when the Syrians saw that they were smitten before Israel, they gathered themselves together." See? "And Hadarezer sent and brought out the Syrians that were beyond the river, and they came to Helam. And Shobach, the captain of the host of Hadarezer, went before them. And when it was told David, he gathered all Israel together and passed over Jordan and came to Helam. And the Syrians set themselves in array against David and fought with him. And the Syrians fled before Israel, and David slew the men of 700 chariots of the Syrians. All right, remember, 700. 7 means complete. This verse is telling you that he took out all the chariots of the Syrians, right? "And the 40,000 horsemen, and smote Shobach, the captain of their host, who died there." All right, so he killed the Syrian captain of the army. Let's keep reading. In verse 19, "And when all the kings that were servants to Hadarezer saw that they were smitten before Israel, they made peace with Israel and served them. So the Syrians feared to help the children of Ammon anymore." All right, so they was like, we ain't going to help out those Japanese people no more, man. See? Because you got to understand, Israel, that's back in the days when we were a noble vine. Now we're a degenerate plant, all right? You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you couldn't do that today. The Japanese army would fuck you up, you see? Or these Moabites, and these Asian, army. We don't have military force like them. You go to so-called Mexico. Mexico can't fuck with China in battle, in war, see? So, and I say Issachar just because it comes to mind, but you get the point. Our people are scattered everywhere, and we don't have a military force really to take on any of the heathen. That's not our blessing, you see. So, just a quick summary. Keep your beard if you're an Israelite man. Don't shave that thing off. Don't line it up. Grow it out. If you can't grow it out, that's all right. Do the best you can. And then the other points of the story is just, hey, the Syria and Ammon trying to team up to take on David's military, but hey, it wasn't enough. You see, because why? I'm gonna get it real quick. Because back then, we had respect from the other nations. We had, nowadays these heathen nations don't respect us, and that's all by design. That's because Yahweh Bashem Yashai set it up that way. You see, Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? See, because we walked among the heathen and we took on the heathen gods, and so we lost our power, man. See? We lost our power. Now we're a degenerate plant, which means you're not what you used to be. You're not what you once were. Alright, when they call you a degenerate, that's not a good thing, you see? And that's what Yahweh calls our people, and the state of our people, because they're a strange vine unto him, a degenerate plant. A strange means strange, meaning you don't know Yahweh, you see? So with that, I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akyam for pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to the elect.